Hey guys, here we go into a video on the way that I remember Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz won. It was a great fight, you guys. One of the best fights of the year. It was just such a treat. Super, super good boxing from both fighters. But I thought Anthony Joshua was dominating the boxing aspect of the fight when he wasn't sitting on the line with Andy Ruiz and getting knocked down. He dominated every aspect of the fight. He was the first one to land each punch. He was the first one, he was doing so well at first contact. But because of scenes like this, when he shoots his jab here, he's taking a step. But because of the fact that he takes a step with his toes first, he doesn't plant his heel first, he kind of gets stuck on the line for his weight transition. But even in this clip, you can see he's controlling Ruiz, control him, feints him out of position, and is able to set up the first right hand. And the only thing is even though he blocks all those shots, he winds up getting stuck on the line for two weight transitions from Andy Ruiz, right? Which in the first round, that's not great. It's not where you want to be, right? You're supposed to be fresh. You're not getting stuck on the line with your opponent. But as you can see, he's doing a great job of setting up the first shot, but he's getting stuck on the line for the next one, which only gets worse as the fight goes on, as we saw. But Anthony Joshua did a fantastic job of controlling Andy Ruiz and setting up his own shots throughout the entire fight. He did a fantastic job. Many scenes like this where he's easily able to get Andy Ruiz to go first in an attack, right, without really setting up his shots because he thinks Anthony Joshua is vulnerable, and Anthony Joshua is able to land a body shot. I think that Andy Ruiz might touch him with the jab here, but there's no follow-up there because Andy Ruiz is being completely controlled and dominated in the boxing aspect. He just has no understanding of what position Anthony Joshua is going to be in after each attack. And because of the fact that Anthony Joshua is making him go first, Anthony Joshua is able to do stuff like this later, change positions, boom, landing a great counter right hand over the top, and then into shots like this great left hook. And all because he was controlling the space with his feinting, his probing, and his weight transitions. He was able to force openings from Andy Ruiz to land big shots like this. Again, that one might not land super cleanly, but he definitely lands that left hook. And all of it is based on work done earlier in the fight, which we're going to go over on my Patreon. I'm going to be talking about positioning and some of the goals in boxing. Now, most people don't know what you're actually even trying to do in boxing, but again, Andy Ruiz forced to come out of his shell without feinting, without setting his shots up, because he finally finds an opportunity where Anthony Joshua is not controlling him. He's not got the jab in his face. He's not threatening a right hand. He's not shifting in the front. He's able to set up and land easy shots like this to kind of school Andy Ruiz. Now, I want to stress this, you guys. I picked Andy Ruiz to win the first fight. I thought he was going to win. Just because I didn't think that Anthony Joshua was going to be prepared for as active of a guard, for as many weight transitions as Andy Ruiz would bring. And I think that actually was the case, right? It's the fact that Andy Ruiz practiced transitioning his weight with every step, with every punch, with everything that he does, so he doesn't get out of shape, right? And it's very difficult for someone who doesn't practice fighting like that to keep up, on top of some of the bad footwork stuff from Anthony Joshua that he can easily overcome. But look at this beautiful scene right here. Anthony Joshua threatening the right hand here, controlling him with the jab, threatening the right hand. And every time he makes one of these motions, transitioning his weight or probes with the lead hand, look at what Andy Ruiz has to do, right? Every time he threatens the right hand, Andy Ruiz brings up his left glove, right? You can see his left glove up, right? He has to block a right hand right here. Anthony Joshua threatens a jab. He has to catch the jab. Now he's going again, catching the jab again. Andy Ruiz is constantly reacting to what Joshua is doing, and what Joshua is able to do, again, is feint him with the jab, get him out of position, and land a beautiful right hand, and then all that right into this combination. Now, this combination probably caught Anthony Joshua off guard, or Andy Ruiz off guard, probably because after every time he gets caught on the line, Andy Ruiz throws a combo and Anthony Joshua moves off the line. But this time, instead, he smothers him and then comes in with his own combination, kind of, using the move off the line trick over and over and over again after each combo to condition Andy Ruiz into thinking, oh, he's just going to move off the line, he's just going to move off the line, he's just going to move off the line, into getting caught into those big shots. But notice how it all winds up being set up is Anthony Joshua controlling Andy Ruiz on the outside and landing that right hand. Now that right hand doesn't look like a big shot, but it's just demonstrates that Anthony Joshua was winning first contact in this fight over and over and over again. And that is a big, big, big deal in a fight, especially when you're as big of a puncher as anyone in the heavyweight division. Now, I'd be giving Andy Ruiz the same credit if he was winning first contact against Anthony Joshua and Anthony Joshua just randomly knocked him out, right? Just like Deontay Wilder versus Ortiz. Ortiz was winning first contact in almost every one of their engagements. I thought that he was outlanding him, but the only problem is that's exactly the kind of fight that Deontay Wilder wants to fight. He wants to fight a slow-paced fight where you're trading weight transitions with your opponent. So, and again, that's exactly what Andy Ruiz wants to do. Andy Ruiz wants to trade weight transitions. And Wilder wants to do it one at a time, and Andy Ruiz wants to do them 5 at a time. But anyway, I'm not sure where I was going with that. If I come back on that train of thought, I'll let you guys know. But again, Anthony Joshua doing a great job of always being the first one to land his shots. Now again, right after the knockdown, controlling Andy Ruiz, controlling him, feinting him, setting up another big right hand, continuously controlling him and not allowing him to set up his shots, not allowing him to find a rhythm, and not allowing him to basically partake in the fight. And that's what I wanted to talk about. And now we're going to cut it a little short. This is just because Joshua gets stuck on the line here again. And that's when he gets eaten alive by Andy Ruiz by sitting on the line with him. But as you can see, the actual boxing part of this fight, Anthony Joshua dominated it up until the late rounds when he got a little bit tired. But I'm not really expecting the fight to go any different. And most of the reason why I'm not expecting it to go any different is because of the fact that I don't think Andy Ruiz understands why he won. I don't think he understands what he did wrong in the first fight. And I think that that's going to be a big problem. Saying that there was just a lot of stuff that he said in the post-fight that made me think that he just doesn't understand boxing as well as he thinks he does. Just the things that he said about Joshua, how he won because of God and, all that stuff. There was some stuff about, like, lucky boxing or whatever. I don't know. But it really doesn't make me think that Andy Ruiz has taken this fight as seriously as he should have, as seriously as Anthony Joshua did in the first fight, because Anthony Joshua fought a phenomenal fight. And he just, got stuck on the line a few times going for broke when he didn't need to. He was able to set up and land his shots. So if he can do what Buddy McGirt said to Kovalev, just chill out, relax, and just box Andy Ruiz for 12 rounds, he's going to dominate Andy Ruiz. I think he's going to absolutely smash him in a boring fight all the way up until he knocks him down again. But anyway, that's kind of my prediction. I think if Andy Ruiz is going to win, there's a moment, I think, in the second round or the third round where Anthony Joshua is probing with his lead hand, and Andy Ruiz throws a left hook right at Anthony Joshua's forearm. If Andy Ruiz is going to win, that's going to have to be a huge strategy of his in the fight, is to attack Anthony Joshua's arms and not attack his head, because his head moves really well. As you can see in this clip, right, he gets under both of those attacks right there by simply moving his head off the line, right? Easily able to get away from those shots. However, his arms, when he's probing and being controlled, will not be able to move like that. It'll also take away a lot of power, but also going to the body. Again, the body doesn't move as much as the head. So Andy Ruiz fighting from the outside, finding someone who can control him with the weight transitions as well as Anthony Joshua does, that's going to be a big problem for him. But I just don't see it happening. I think that Anthony Joshua is going to school Andy Ruiz. Who knows? He could get knocked out again. Anthony Joshua has been hurt in a lot of fights, so, and we know he got knocked out last time. But I think that the boxing perspective favors Anthony Joshua by a wide margin. Now, if you guys are interested, I'm going to be putting up another video talking about some of these same clips, but also a few that I didn't talk about and the importance of them. And I'm going to talk about one of the biggest goals in all of boxing. And it's something that people kind of probably don't understand as an actual goal of the fight. and why it's effective, and why this little piece of information makes the rest of boxing so much more understandable. But anyway, catch me on my Patreon. It's only $10 a month. I'm sorry I haven't gotten as many training videos as I've needed. I've had some hiccups with the holidays, with my work schedule. Just have a lot of stuff going on right now. I apologize. But I've got some really cool stuff coming out. I'm really, really, really excited. Anyway, thanks, guys.